Our review from today is going to start on question 21 from the review, which are questions 37 and 40 from the final. So this one says find the missing side lengths and leave your answer as radicals in simplest form. Let me take the instructions out. I'm going to put the two questions in here. I wanted to give you guys both cases. I wanted to give you guys a 45, 45, 90. And I also wanted to give you guys the 30, 60, 90. This is a little reminder, how do we do this? On the 45, 45, 45, 50, here, two sides are equal. The two sides are intersect at 90 degrees. So I'm going to say the value of y is going to be 5 because these two sides are equal. If we don't remember the formula for x, then use Pythagorean theorem. You guys are going to go 5 squared plus 5 squared is equal to x squared. If you guys don't remember the formula, you guys work this out and you guys are going to get that x is equal to 5 radical 2. Now, if you guys remember the formula, you know it is the side, which in this case 5, times radical 2. That's basically the formula. Whatever number I have here, once I move it to the hypotenuse, I multiply by radical 2. Obviously, if I'm going backwards, I divide. Looking at the 30, 60, 90, we know that this side here it is the small one, and that's the one we want. For the hypotenuse, just multiply the little one by 2. So if I look at 8 radical 3 over 3, which is the number that was given to us to begin with, we multiply this by 2. So I'm going to put the 2 on top. I'm going to finish with 16 radical 3 over 3. Now look at my fraction, 16 over 3. There's nothing I can do. So that's the value of u. If you don't remember the formula for v, then you guys will have to rely on Pythagorean theorem. But the formula for this, I'm going to start with 8 radical 3 over 3, which is the number from the little one. The formula is multiply this by radical 3. So I know radical 3 times radical 3 on top is 3. So I have 24 over 3, better known as 8. So as long as we start from the small side, to get to this side, we multiply by radical 3. To get to the hypotenuse, we multiply by 2. Obviously, if I'm going backwards, I divide. Any questions on these? Question number 23. I'm asking you guys to find the value of each trigonometric ratio. But a ratio, once again, is a fancy word for fraction. We know the biggest side, from here, from the triangle, the biggest side is hypotenuse. So if I'm asking for tangent of z, so I'm going to be looking from the corner, from the angle z. The one that is farthest away is the opposite. The one that is close to is the adjacent. I remembered something about tangent. I know tangent is opposite over adjacent. So I'm going to go 24 over 10. Simplify the fraction as much as we can. Let me divide each by 2. So I'm going to have 12 over 5. Any questions on these? Now here it says find the missing side, round to the nearest tenth. So we have to see what sides we have. Let me see, this thing just froze for a minute. So I'm only gonna give you guys two sides. You have to figure out which two sides I gave you. I'm waiting on this to unfreeze. Okay. I see my 90 degrees. The side that is farthest away from the 90 is the hypotenuse. I see my 72 degrees. The side that is farthest away from 72 is my opposite. So I mean this is my adjacent. I don't have anything about the hypotenuse. I have opposite and adjacent. So I remember something about opposite and adjacent, which is tangent. So I'm going to say tangent of 72 is equal to 17 over x. If the x was on the top, multiply both sides by 17, we're done. But because the x is on the bottom, I'm going to say that x is equal to 17 over tangent of 72. Basically, tangent of 72 and x, they swapped places. All right, so I'm just going to type that in. Let me get my calculator. I want it scientific. Okay, so I'm just going to go 17 divided by tangent of 72. In my case, I have to do 72 tangent. And it tells me it is 5.52. So I'm going to call this 5.5. Any questions on these? Now on these, let's see, find the measure of the indicated angle to the nearest degree. So I see my 90-degree angle. So we're given the hypotenuse because the one that's farthest away from the 90 degrees. From the angle, we don't have the opposite, but we do have the adjacent. So let me cross the opposite. A and H, I remember something about adjacent and hypotenuse. So I'm going to say cosine of x, because I don't know the angle, is equal to 46 over 49. So for the fraction and the x to switch places, I'm going to have to do inverse. So I'm going to say cosine inverse of 46 over 49 is equal to x. Let me get my calculator out. In my case, I have to do the fraction first. So let me do 46 over 49. Get the decimal for that. I'm going to do cosine inverse. Round it to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to say x is equal to 20 degrees. Any questions on these?